Hockey Heroes, Clash of the Titans, featuring Mark Messier and Brian Leetch. Mark Messier and Brian Leetch are both legendary figures in the world of ice hockey, particularly known for their contributions to the New York Rangers in the NHL. Together, Messier and Leetch were both key players during the Rangers' memorable Stanley Cup victory in 1994, which holds a special place in the hearts of Rangers fans. Before becoming teammates on the New York Rangers, Mark Messier and Brian Leetch had a fierce rivalry during Messier's time with the Edmonton Oilers and his brief stint with the Vancouver Canucks. Although Brian Leetch was known for his offensive prowess from the blue line, he was often matched up against Messier in intense matchups. Mark Messier entered the NHL first after the WHA folded in 1979 and the Edmonton Oilers were added to the NHL as part of the WHA-NHL merger. Messier was a fierce and tough competitor whose intense leadership in the dressing room was as important as goals he scored on the ice. Initially a left winger, Messier switched to center during the 1984 Stanley Cup playoffs, and the results were spectacular, sparking a comeback during the 1984 Stanley Cup Finals against the New York Islanders, who were then a dynasty, and helped the Edmonton Oilers win their first Stanley Cup and took home the Conn Smythe Trophy that year. With the Edmonton Oilers, Messier formed part of the legendary duo of the 1980s alongside Wayne Gretzky, winning 4 Stanley Cup championships in 5 seasons, winning the Cup in 1984, 85, 87, and 88. For his last Stanley Cup championship with the Oilers in 1990, he captained the team to a Stanley Cup after they traded away Wayne Gretzky, scoring 31 points in 22 playoff games. After the 1990-91 season, Mark Messier publicly demanded a trade during the 1991 Canada Cup, when Messier had grown frustrated with the Edmonton Oilers' refusal to spend money and let Adam Graves walk for nothing. So on October 4th, 1991, Mark Messier was dealt to the New York Rangers, signaling the end of Messier's tenure with the Edmonton Oilers. The defining moment of Mark Messier's career was in the 1994 Stanley Cup playoffs against the rival New Jersey Devils. When the New York Rangers were down 3-2 in the series, he confronted New York media and publicly guaranteed a Game 6 victory. This moment is special because not only did the New York Rangers go on to win Game 6, Mark Messier played a pivotal role in it, scoring a hat-trick in the game to force a Game 7 back at MSG. The Rangers went on to win the series in a thrilling Game 7 double overtime nail-biter. In the Stanley Cup Finals, Messier scored the cup-winning goal in Game 7 at Madison Square Garden, giving the Rangers their first Stanley Cup in 54 years. He became the first and to this date the only player to captain 2 teams to the Stanley Cup, something even his former teammate Wayne Gretzky could not do the year before, and provided 2 of the most memorable images of that year's Stanley Cup Finals. Messier's career accolades are numerous. He ranks second on the NHL's all-time point list with 1,887, and he won the Hart Trophy twice as the NHL's most valuable player. He was also a 15-time NHL All-Star, and his leadership qualities earned him the nickname The Captain, as he was highly respected both on and off the ice. Brian Leetch played the majority of his NHL career with the New York Rangers, with short stints with the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs at the tail end of his career. He is widely considered one of the greatest American-born players in NHL history and one of the most skilled defensemen of all time. Leetch's offensive skills were particularly notable for a defenseman, and he often led the rush and contributed significantly to his team's scoring. Leetch's playing style was defined by his exceptional skating skill, offensive prowess, and hockey IQ. He was known for his ability to quarterback the power play, his smooth skating, and defensive reliability. One of the highlights of Brian Leetch's career came in 1994 when he played a pivotal role in leading the New York Rangers to their first Stanley Cup victory in 54 years. Although Mark Messier will live on in hockey lore for his infamous Game 6 guarantee, it was Brian Leetch who was the best player for the Rangers throughout the playoffs. Leetch's outstanding performance during the playoffs earned him the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player of the playoffs, as he scored 11 goals and 34 points in the Cup run. Throughout his career, career, Leetch earned numerous accolades, including being selected to the NHL All-Star Game 11 times and being awarded the Norris Trophy twice. Leetch is the Rangers' all-time leader in career goals, assists, and points by a defenseman, and also has the most points by a defenseman in a single season, with 102 during the 91-92 season. Brian Leetch finished his NHL career having scored 1,028 points in 1,205 regular season games, and also had 97 points in 95 postseason games. After becoming teammates on the New York Rangers, Mark Messier and Brian Leetch were both key players for the team, and they did not have a rivalry in the traditional sense. Messier, known as the captain, was the team's leader and veteran presence, while Leetch, a highly skilled defenseman, provided offensive spark from the blue line. Together, they played a pivotal role in leading the Rangers to their historic Stanley Cup victory in 1994, ending a 54-year championship drought for the franchise. Their partnership on the ice was characterized by mutual respect and collaboration rather than rivalry. Both were instrumental to the Rangers' success during their time together. While there may have been friendly competition and challenges in practice, their focus was always on working together to achieve goals rather than competing against one another. Mark Messier and Brian Leetch symbolize what it means to be a perfect partnership rather than rivals. Their partnership symbolizes the unity and teamwork necessary for success in hockey.